Class is dismissed, boys and girls.
You're in. Let's go!
Previously on the YTV Retrospective.
Oh yeah, we watched reruns of Mr. Ed.
Oh, I used to watch that show too. Only, well, you know, it was just too preposterous for me. I mean, can you imagine an animal who can talk?
It's mind-boggling.
Check this out.
Everybody.
Check it out.
It's been a long time since we've discussed a preschool show on here. The last time we did was way back when we did the preschool blocks. You may argue that the last ones we did were Stickin' Around and Monster by Mistake. But today, we're going to change that, as we're going to be talking about a show about a group of hippos.
Why are you repeating everything that I am singing?
Why am I repeating everything that you...
I do not know.
Not them. Another group of hippos. These ones have got a bit more of a history to them. This is George and Martha. George and Martha are a pair of hippos named, well, George and Martha. George, played by Nathan Lane, in some ways is very much shy and down to earth, often not interested in things that Martha would enjoy, but would always be willing to give it a try.
Oh, you're doing it wrong. No, let me show you. Like this, then like this.
Oh, I see.
Half the time I just make it up and it still turns out to be true.
Olé!
Martha, played by Andrea Martin, is very outgoing, often reassuring to George when things are down. An example would be in the episode The Tooth. After losing a tooth in a roller skating accident, George would get a new tooth that he felt ashamed of. He would show Martha his new gold tooth, and would reassure him that it is a beautiful tooth.
Go ahead, Martha. Make fun. Enjoy your little laugh.
Why, George, is that what you've been hiding from me?
I know. I look ridiculous.
Oh, goodness, no, George. You look handsome.
Handsome?
And distinguished.
Really?
Both of the hippos are best friends, no more and no less, a platonic friendship, often partaking in many activities and pulling pranks towards each other. Both would argue, but would easily make up. This series as a whole teaches about different aspects of healthy friendships, including reassurance, privacy, compromise, setting boundaries, empathy, and self-recognition. This series has a small cast, but spawning from two different sources. The Toronto comedy group The Second City, and the TV series Whose Line Is It Anyway? From The Second City, we have Deborah McGrath and her husband Colin Mockery.
Dennis, without a net! That's so rich!
Robin Duke.
Well, I think we just found our snooper. Cougher, Bernie.
I am not a snooper!
Tony Rosato.
Hello. What's this? Holy mugshot.
Kathy Greenwood.
This little piggy's money is making, delivering.
And the aforementioned Andrea Martin.
Watch out! This is fun.
Martha, would you please be quiet? I'm trying to watch the movie.
Oh, shh.
The few they got outside of the Second City were Greg Kramer.
Oh, I get it. Swan dive.
Sean Cullen.
Good afternoon, and welcome to the Happy Palms Movie Theater. I am Eaton, the ticket seller. What movie would you like to see?
And the aforementioned Nathan Lane.
Martha, what are you doing up here?
Pretty high up here, huh?
Martha, I can't do it. I lost my nerve.
But I could change my habits, never more be scared of rabbits if I only had the knife.
The series was based on the books of the same name by American author and illustrator James Marshall. Born in 1942 in San Antonio, Texas, with both parents who were musicians, living on an 85-acre farm. At a young age, he wanted to become an artist. However, in the second grade, he drew a picture, and rather than provide encouragement to the young James, The teacher laughed and told him that he would never be an artist. He would not draw again until his years as an adult. They would later move to Beaumont, Texas, and unfortunately did not like it there. Beaumont is deep south and swampy, and I hated it. I knew I would die if I stayed there, so I diligently studied the viola, and eventually won a scholarship to the New England Conservatory in Boston. However, his music career was short-lived, as he suffered nerve damage in his hand, but not entirely, as he would return to drawing. He would create the first book in the series in 1972 called George and Martha, a book of small vignettes of the two doing activities while teaching the ideas of a healthy friendship. It's ironic considering where the concept came from. The concept of George and Martha was actually inspired by the 1962 Edward Albee play Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. You may recognize the title, as a movie of the play was made in 1966 by Warner Brothers, starring Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton. A play about the complexities of a middle-aged couple named, funnily enough, George and Martha. A bitter, aging couple with the help of alcohol use their young house guests to fuel anguish and emotional pain towards each other over the course of a distressing night. It was a play that very much opposed the concept of the perfect American family and societal norms stemming from the 1950s of the nuclear family. You know, the father being the hard worker at a blue-collar job, the work-at-home mother keeping the house nice and clean, and two well-behaved children. The play smashed all that wide open, showing more realistic families being far from perfect. Martha having a father but no mother figure in her life, and George and Martha not being able to have a perfect family because of both infertility and George not being able to obtain a high-paying job that could sustain the both of them at the university. Now, the Hippos themselves weren't named directly after the couple in the play, but rather the first president and first lady of the United States, George and Martha Washington. However, the key difference is that the two Hippos are great problem solvers when it comes to disagreements. In fact, in the fourth book of the series made in 1980, George and Martha Tons of Fun, the book starts with a misunderstanding that spirals out of control for the two of them. Let's read it, shall we? It's story time. Five stories about the best of friends. Story number 1. The Misunderstanding. George was practicing his handstands. "This calls for concentration," he said. Suddenly, the doorbell rang. It was Martha. "I've come to chat," she said. "Not this afternoon," said George. "I want to be alone." "I hope Martha understands," said George. But Martha did not understand. Martha was offended. Martha was hurt. And Martha was mad. A few minutes later, George's telephone rang. It was Martha. "George," she said, "I never want to see you again." And she slammed down the receiver. "Oh dear," said George. Martha was mad all afternoon and evening. Finally, she got out her saxophone. "This will calm me down," she said. Soon, Martha was having quite a bit of fun. In fact, she was having so much fun, she didn't even answer her telephone. "Oh dear," said George. Martha must still be upset. But Martha had forgotten all about the misunderstanding. Despite being mad at George, Martha was able to calm herself down and forgot what the misunderstanding was to begin with. George wanted some space to practice his handstands and was able to have that time for himself. The book sold well, and soon more would be made, with a grand total of 7 books spanning from 1972 to 1988. In 1992, James Marshall would pass away just a few days after his 50th birthday. Apparently, his obituary says that it was a brain tumor, but it was later revealed by his sister that he died of AIDS. In 1997, a complete set of the George and Martha books would be made, with a foreword by a good friend of James, with author and illustrator Maurice Sendak, who created the book Where the Wild Things Are. He wrote this as part of his foreword. Much has been written concerning the sheer deliciousness of Marshall's simple, elegant style. The simplicity is deceiving. There is richness of design and mastery of composition on every page. Not surprising, since James was a notorious perfectionist and endlessly redrew those simple pictures. The refined sensibilities of his hippos stand in touching contrast to their obvious tonnage, and his pen line, though never forgetting their impossible weight and size, endows them with grace and airiness of a ballerina and her cavalier. He praised James, calling him the last in the line of children's writers for whom children's books were a cottage industry, and uncommercial to a fault, and as a consequence, was little recognized by the award committees. The animation was done by Canadian animation studio Nelvana and Wild Things Productions, and adapts the art style of the books rather well. The series would air from 1999 to 2001, with 2 seasons of 26 episodes. It aired on YTV as part of the preschool block YTV Junior, and on HBO as part of the HBO Family channel. It would return as part of the block Cubo, and would have a few episodes on a few VHS releases, courtesy of Sony Wonder. The entire series is available on YouTube, under the channel Treehouse Direct. Friendship can appear from anywhere, including 2 friendly hippos, like George and Martha. When we come back, it's game time. Or is it a mystery?
Next time on the YTV Retrospective.
And here it is. It's a sprint to the finish. He's got the long bomb. Hard. Sweep. There it is. It's a hole in one, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, he throws the pitch. He throws the ball. He looks down. It's another home run. And there goes the batter. He's running down the court. It's a double axel, triple sow cow.
The score is 40 love.
Bravo! Oh, here goes the slam dunk. Oh, it's a strike 3 count. You're out of there. The audience goes crazy.
Get ready for the Screech Owls Sundays at 6:30.
Keep it weird.
Why? Check this out.
Hi, my name is Ian James Corlett, the voice of Cheetor from Beast Wars. Let's see, what else have I done? Oh, the OG voice of Goku from a little show called Dragon Ball Z, and the creator of Being Ian. And since this is the YTV Retrospective on YouTube, those shows might make some sense to you. Oh, and also, I don't know if it's on YTV, but I was also Q Test, Johnny, on Johnny Test. You're watching the YTV Retrospective.